Another loaded show coming your way on today's San Francisco 49ers Report. Here's what we're talking about. Could the San Francisco 49ers sign Ndamukong Suh because they're a little bit thin at defensive tackle? We're going to get to the latest Niners injury news, and I'm going to explain what the biggest issue is with the San Francisco 49ers team right now, and the biggest thing that could allow another team to pull off an upset in the NFL playoffs. Before we get started, today's 49ers Report is presented by Manscaped. It's the holiday season, and I've already gifted a bunch of my best friends with some gifts from Manscaped. I'm telling you, you should do the same. Join the 9 million men worldwide who have put their trust in Manscaped with the best men's grooming products. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/49ers, and their brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. Absolutely fantastic. Safeguard technology, a light so that you can see what you're doing. It's out of this world. See for yourself, manscaped.com/49ers. Let's begin here with the latest on the Niners injury report, and there are a lot of players banged up on this San Francisco 49ers team. Christian McCaffrey dealing with the right knee injury. We knew that he was banged up in that Arizona game because he was getting tended to on the sideline. It didn't stop him from having a hat trick against Arizona. Defensive end Nick Bosa got rolled up on. He's been dealing with the foot and knee issue. Cornerback Deommodore Lenoir, we saw him getting worked on the sideline as well, was in a lot of pain when the trainers were working on his ribs. Defensive tackle Arik Armstead has missed the last two outings because of foot and knee injuries. Javon Hargrave was out against Arizona, missing his first game as a Niner because of a hamstring. And then Clelin Ferrell has an ankle injury. Jauan Jennings is in concussion protocol. Kalia Davis has an ankle sprain. And then Elijah Mitchell, Ross Dwelley, and Oren Burks all were out against Arizona. For Elijah Mitchell, it's yet another knee injury. Ross Dwelley, ankle, and Oren Burks with a knee injury. One takeaway from the injury report is that San Francisco is pretty thin at defensive tackle. And I think that's a big reason why the Niners really struggled against the run against Arizona on Sunday. San Francisco got gashed there. And because San Francisco really struggled against the run, a lot of people have brought up the possibility of signing Ndamukong Suh. He's still a free agent, member of the 2010s All-Decade team. He's one of the best defensive tackles of all time. And a couple of months ago, he had let it be known that he was waiting out the market, looking to sign with a potential Super Bowl contender. And the Niners certainly fit the billing of a Super Bowl contender. They currently have the best odds to get to the Super Bowl at plus 225. What's also interesting is that Kyle Shanahan was asked about the possibility of signing Ndamukong Suh. Here's what he had to say. He said, "Not yet. I mean, I'm not ruling out anything. We have guys on our practice squad, as you guys see, that we used last week. But that stuff, we also aren't exactly sure when Javon Hargrave as well as Arik Armstead are coming back. We do know that they have chances this week, so there's a lot of variables that are playing together that we'll be discussing here the rest of the day and tomorrow. And even if we don't make a move in any area, that'll probably be continuing all throughout the year." The latest on Suh. What did he do last year? He played for the Philadelphia Eagles, 8 games down the stretch. 3 more games in the playoffs. He had a sack. Philadelphia actually used him quite a bit for how old he is as a part of their defensive tackle rotation. He actually played pretty well and played a lot in Super Bowl 57 against Kansas City. He has a lot of recent Super Bowl trips, so the playoff experience is certainly there for a player who's played in 199 career regular season games. He was on that Rams team that made it to the Super Bowl. He was on the Buccaneers team that won it, as well as with the Eagles. He has 71 sacks in 199 career games. And the bonus for San Francisco, if they feel as though they need to make a move there, and Kyle Shanahan talked about the elevation from the practice squad with a player like T.Y. McGill, and Ndamukong Suh would come at a discounted rate at very cheap. Now, I'll tell you this. When the Niners make a move, we cover it. And that's why you subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that bell icon and turn on your notifications. Therefore, Whenever we do push out a video or go live, you will be notified, and we keep you in the know with every single move the Niners make with our daily and year-round coverage. As part of the Ndamukong Suh conversation, he also almost chose to go to the San Francisco 49ers last year. Instead, he did choose the Philadelphia Eagles. Matt Barrows of The Athletic with this: the Niners were in the top 2 to sign Ndamukong Suh last year, but he chose Philadelphia instead. He didn't sign with them until mid-November, so we know he, A, doesn't mind signing late, and B, wants to sign with the contender. He also spent 5 years in Detroit with then Lions defensive line coach Chris Kocurek, which means that he should be a quick study in San Francisco, and that means that there could be interest. So when a reporter like Matt Barrows talks about some potential interest, and when you think about the Niners' need for defensive tackle, and you talk about Ndamukong Suh playing under Chris Kocurek, the best defensive line coach in the National Football League, it certainly makes this conversation very, very interesting. So with that, we open up the floor. This is today's poll question. Get in the shoes of General Manager John Lynch. Hop in that front office. Should the Niners sign Ndamukong Suh? Type S for sign or P for pass. Let me know right now down in the comments section. As for what we're getting into next here on the 49ers Report, the biggest concern with this ball club right now. But first, today's 49ers Report is sponsored by Manscaped. Ho, 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 all my gentlemen out there. Get ready to jingle and deck your balls this holiday with the help from our friends over at Manscaped. The leaders in below-the-waist grooming have just launched their Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, but I like to call it the small gift for your big package. It features Santa's #1 helper, the Lawnmower 5.0. Manscaped can guarantee you'll be stuffing more than just your stocking this season, and let your ornaments shine and enjoy 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/49ers. Mrs. Claus will thank you. For all the fellas out there, hop on board. The Performance Package 5.0 Ultra is the one-stop shop for holiday gifting perfection. Included is a trimmer as precise as Santa coming down the chimney. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra brings 2 next-gen blade heads, perfect for sculpting your holiday do, from taming the chestnuts to grooming the tree. And trust us, it's as gentle as a snowflake on your sensitive bits, thanks to its skin-safe technology. Say goodbye to those holiday party crashers, nose and ear hairs. The Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer is the king of trimming those hairs trying to sneak in your festivities uninvited, so keep the party exclusive. Nobody wants to talk to somebody when they get distracted with all the pine needles of your Christmas tree coming out of your nostrils. Manscaped.com/49ers. Link is available for you down in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. Tackling. That's what I want to talk about to round out today's 49ers Report. And that right there is the biggest issue that's holding the 49ers back right now. And this has been a season-long issue for this defense. The 49ers, during Sunday's game against the Arizona Cardinals, missed 16 tackles, according to Pro Football Focus. 9 different players missed a tackle against the Cardinals. And in the previous 2 weeks, against Seattle and against Philadelphia, the 49ers missed 14 and 12 tackles respectively. It's just not going to cut it. And what do missed tackles lead to? You think, oh, it's not really a big deal. San Francisco is still #2 in points per game allowed. But when it comes time to the playoffs, that's where missed tackles can burn you because it gives the opposition more opportunities. Missed tackles lead to a bad run defense, which allows other teams to kill the clock to keep your potent offense off the field. Missed tackles lead to extended drives to wear your defense down. Missed tackles lead to a lot of big plays that can take the air out of your sails. Missed tackles also lead to other teams having more opportunities to not just extend drives, to keep your offense off the field, to wear your defense down, to take the air out of your sails, to flip the momentum, it leads to more opportunities to put points on the scoreboard. And a majority of games are decided by one score or less across the NFL. And in the NFL playoffs, you might be deadlocked in a really competitive game. And if you lose, you might blame it to missed tackles being the one thing that gives that one squad an opportunity to pull off the upset for a team that is the odds-on favorite to make it back to the Super Bowl and has a 30% chance to win it. This is the one thing that can lead to an upset of the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL playoffs. They're the most talented team in football. They're the best team in football. They're the deepest team in football. Their offense is clicking at an unbelievable rate right now to historic proportions. Their defense is really good, and what's confounding and confusing about this is that the Niners have the dogs, and they have the personnel to tackle, but they're not honing in on some of those fundamentals, and it's something that Kyle Shanahan did talk about. Here's what he said this week. I thought the biggest thing was the missed tackles. They bounced off a couple, then mainly just our tracking angles on a number of plays, just running to the ball. We over-pursued a couple of things, and we opened up the cutback, which gave them some big ones. Usually, when you give up those yards, you're expecting a lot of schematic busts and stuff, especially with the running quarterback coming to town, and Lamar Jackson, by the way. So I thought that didn't hurt us as bad as you'd expect, but we've got to clean up all those tackles, and we got to try to get our depth back as well. If you want to contact me, hit me up. Don't be shy. Don't be a stranger. I'm on X at Chase_Senior. I'm on Instagram at Chase_Senior. You can also shoot me an email, chase@chatsports.com. And if you're still rocking with us, that means that you're a real one. Let's do a little bit of a real one roll call. As always, appreciate all of you and very grateful for all of your support of the 49ers Report. And keep it locked here for more great Niners coverage.